All right, let's get right into it. If you're running a fitness studio today, you know the game has completely changed. I mean, interest in fitness is through the roof, which is great. But so are the costs, and the competition is just everywhere. So today, we're going to unpack a brand new strategic blueprint. It's all designed to help you not just get by, but actually crush it in 2025 by plugging some of the hidden leaks in your business that might be costing you a fortune.
You know, this quote right here, it just nails the issue perfectly. So many gym owners I talk to think, I need more leads, I need to spend more on ads, more marketing. But what if the real problem isn't about getting more water into the bucket? What if it's about stopping that water from leaking out just as fast as you pour it in?
And that really brings us to this huge paradox that's facing the entire fitness industry. Think about it. Nearly 77 million Americans have a gym membership. That's a record high. And yet, for so many studio owners, the profit margins are getting squeezed tighter and tighter. So what gives? Well, the cost and the sheer complexity of getting and, more importantly, keeping a member have just absolutely skyrocketed. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at how these costs break down. Your traditional channels, right? Google, Facebook, Instagram, you could be paying over $800 for a single new member. And that comes with all these risks like attribution decay. That's a fancy way of saying you have no idea which ad even worked. But look at that last line, AI database reactivation. The cost is just a tiny, tiny fraction of the others. This makes it so clear. The most profitable gyms out there, they're not just throwing more money at ads. They're using much, much smarter systems.
Let's just pause on that number for a second. $802. Just let that sink in. Now think about the lifetime value of your average member. How many months of membership fees does it take just to break even on that one person? For most independent studios, that math just doesn't work. It's completely unsustainable.
So let's say you spend that $800. You get the lead. And this is exactly where that bucket starts to leak. The problem, so often, isn't your marketing at all. It's what happens in that crucial moment when that expensive lead actually tries to contact you. It all comes down to the cracks in your front desk operations.
And this number? Wow. This shows you just how big that crack really is. A massive 35% of all incoming calls to fitness businesses just go unanswered. Think about it. Your staff is busy, they're checking people in, they're cleaning equipment, and in those few moments, a third of your ad spend literally evaporates into thin air. Because you know what that lead is doing? They're hanging up and calling the next gym on their Google search.
And this chart really lays out the case for a totally new way of thinking. On the left, you've got your traditional front desk. Response times could be hours. After you close, you capture 0 leads. And your booking rate is, maybe a coin flip, 50-50. Now look at the right, a 24/7 AI system. It responds in less than 2 seconds, it captures every single lead, and it converts over 85% of them into booked tours. The ROI? It flips from a negative labor cost into a massive revenue driver for your business. It's night and day.
So why is all that speed so critical? Well, it comes down to this idea called cognitive decay. Sounds kind of technical, but it's simple. The second a person fills out a form on your website, their excitement, their motivation to hit their fitness goals, it's at an absolute peak. And with every single minute that goes by, that motivation starts to decay as life, distractions, and doubts start to creep back in. This data right here is it's stunning. If you can respond to a lead in 1 minute, you are 100 times more likely to connect with them, and your conversion rate is a sky-high 82%. But wait just 30 minutes? That rate plummets all the way down to 12%. And if you wait a whole day, forget about it. You might as well have just thrown that lead money straight into the trash. That 5-minute window isn't just a suggestion, it is an absolute imperative. Okay, so we've laid it all out, the crazy high costs, the critical leaks in the system. So what's the actual solution? Well, it's not about working harder or hiring more people. It's about installing a better machine in your business. So let's look at this 3-part automated growth engine that just solves these problems systemically. So part 1 directly tackles that massive missed call problem. The AI receptionist, it's not just some answering machine. Think of it like a revenue agent. It has incredibly human-like conversations, it can answer complex questions about your pricing, your class schedule, and it books tours right there on the call. This one tool plugs the biggest leak and, maybe just as importantly, frees up your team to create those amazing experiences for the members who are already in your gym. But of course, leads don't just call anymore, right? They're sliding into your DMs, they're sending texts, they're on WhatsApp. So to really solve that 5-minute imperative, you need a concierge that is basically everywhere at once, engaging those leads on whatever platform they prefer and doing it in under 60 seconds.
Now, part 2 is where we go after that huge acquisition cost. Remember that AI database reactivation we saw earlier? This is exactly how it works. Your database, your CRM, it's a gold mine of old, dead leads. An AI system can run this simple automated sequence. It starts with a pattern interrupt to just grab their attention. Then it follows up with an easy, low-friction offer, and finally, a little bit of urgency. This brings old leads back to life and generates new members for almost zero cost. It is hands down the highest ROI activity in the fitness business.
And finally, part 3. This is what stops the bucket from leaking out the bottom. I mean, what's the point of getting a new member if they're just going to leave in 90 days? An AI retention strategist actually watches for churn signals, things like a member missing their usual workouts. It then automatically reaches out, re-engages them, celebrates their wins, and just makes them feel seen. And that right there dramatically improves your retention.
So what happens when you put all 3 of these automated systems together? Well, something really profound starts to shift. The benefit isn't just having a fuller gym. It's a fundamental change in your role as the owner. You stop being this frantic operator, constantly putting out fires, and you start becoming a strategic CEO who's building a real valuable asset.
Now, to really get this shift, you need to know this one metric, your effective hourly rate, or EHR. It's a really simple calculation that tells you the true dollar value of 1 hour of your working time. This number becomes your North Star for deciding what you should be doing, and probably more importantly, what you absolutely should not be doing in your business.
Let's make this real. Let's say your time is worth $500 an hour, but you spend an hour doing manual lead follow-up, something that could be automated or delegated for, say, 20 bucks. In that case, you haven't saved money. You've actually cost your business $480 in lost strategic value. See, automation isn't an expense. It's an investment in buying back your single most valuable asset, your time to act like a CEO.
So we'll end with this question, and I want you to really think about it. Are you running a business, or do you just own a job? Because when you're the one who has to answer the phones and chase down every lead, you're stuck in a really high-stress job. Implementing the kind of systems we've talked about today, that's how you make the transition. That's how you build a business that truly serves you and not the other way around.